Once a new generation comes around, you have that early surge of games and then it can get a little quieter. That waiting period is a little different with this generation, with a growing number of backlogged titles being boosted beyond the capabilities of the previous gen. The Last of Us 2 is the next big release to get a PS5 mini patch to enhance the basic game over its old Pro version. So let's take a look.
What the fuck?
Now, like the original 2013 release of The Last of Us, this enhanced edition is approximately 1 year later on, but unlike that PS4 improved version, it's free and delivered via a very small 300MB patch to unlock more power from that PlayStation 5. Now, unlike the PS3 original, the PS4 did a better job of that 30 FPS target, but here we now see that same boost to 60 on the PlayStation 5 that the PS4 and the Pro just could not handle. And thanks to that new 60 FPS ceiling, we see frame rates doubling, which gives us a much smoother and more consistent image delivery, which better suits our 60 FPS screens. This also means controller input is improved, so the game not only looks smoother, it plays smoother, meaning every dodge and shot are all quicker and better than before. And that is the total of the boosts given here, although not the limit of the changes you will notice. Due to that much faster frame time, the motion blur has been reduced both on limb movement and the radial blur of the camera, and as such changes the look of the game a little, which may be a win or loss depending on your personal view. Aside this though, all other aspects remain the same. Resolution is still that same 2560 by 1440 and all graphical effects. Gameplay and controller use, aside some subtle changes to the DualSense controller itself, it's improved over the DS4 due to the firmware and the motor technique of the DualSense being more subtle and allowing a better reaction to controls input, although no haptics have been added. Now, what didn't need changing was that superb 7.1 soundscape in the game. It's identical, and those audio cues and the audio delivery was always a core element of The Last of Us, even in the original. Here in The Last of Us 2 though, they ramped that up significantly, with a huge and vast amount, 4 times nearly the amount of Foley recordings and different variations of footsteps, wet socks, weapons hitting the floor, even the sound of more than one arrow going into the bag. At certain points in the title, they used almost half the memory allocation of the PlayStation 4 just for sound design. This carries over to the way the enemies hunt you, the Seraphites whistle, and every single sound in the game is a core aspect of increasing that tension and also delivering the visual cues and the audio cues to allow you to play this game without any visual input at all. This level of dynamic Foley sound and sound effects throughout the title is enhanced and made even more difficult due to the superb and groundbreaking motion matching animation system in the title. This means that more than one animation routine is running multiple at once in memory, and then it dynamically shifts between them depending on the relevant action and context of the situation. This means that sound can no longer be linked to that animation frame, and it has to be used or mixed together in real time, and therefore multiple sound effects live in memory. This is one of the reasons why the sound is so impressive and enriching in the title. Everything from bullet shots, ricochets, the sound of reverb in the distance, to even enemies and animals echoing around the fields or woods that you're in, all adds a level of authenticity and ambience that you just don't get in many other titles. The high production values and budget spent on the sound design itself is evident throughout the entire title, and it gives it that signature audio as much as the visuals. From that realistic and dynamic chatter of enemies as they point you out to the team, or those Seraphites whistling like sonar hunting you down, to those yells as they search for you or even scream at you as you take down one of their clan. This not only enriches the game's impact, but it also aids your play as you can use it to pinpoint where they are and even when to intercept.
You my whole fucking...
Don't worry, we'll get him.
Fuck this trespass.
Now those improvements to frame rates though, they do help you appreciate the simply superb animation this game delivers as discussed, from those subtle facial expressions and wincing as you choke an enemy out, to the consistent physical reactions and interaction with the world as enemies climb, smash and try to attack you. It is one of the most physically grounded and realistic game worlds you can enjoy. Maybe enjoy is not the best word, but the consistency of everything, enemy faces, the burning villages or field issue rifle is beyond reproach, and still amazes me they ever managed to fit so much of this world into the Pro, let alone the PlayStation 4. This extra fluidity offered from the PS5 is most welcome and does a great job of feeling as next gen as anything else we have played on the PS5 to date. So how does it hold up to the base PS4 and the Pro then? Well, PS4 first, and by and large it is a rock solid 30 FPS for the largest majority of your adventure. Occasional dips could occur, but even when trying to stress both the 4 and the 5 out here, they never drop below their respective targets of 33 and 16 milliseconds respectively. Image quality is boosted from 1080p to 1440, and by turning off that film grain you can now appreciate those gorgeously accurate physically based materials and the grounded lighting and character contact the Naughty Dog engine has refined and led with over the past few games. Moving to the Pro, we can see a similar tale of a tight lock on its 30 FPS target as you shoot, dive and stab your way through the game, but that leap up to 60 certainly stands out and is as equally, if not more, locked than the Pro. Getting some stress sections in the title, we can get the Pro to drop as low as 26 or 27 via those scripted chase sequences that ramp up the screen filling effects and causes small skips into 50 milliseconds. Another section at night with those shadow casting torches active, we can get fill rate and likely bandwidth bound on the Pro as the highly detailed character models draw in for a quick bite. The PS5 does not buckle at all in the same sections, with the only drop being a streaming memory section that is still 100% faster than the Pro as the chase sequence pauses and prepares the next barrage of action into RAM. The thing to remember is that this simply is running the Pro code as a BC title, nothing more than that, and this update has simply unlocked the ceiling on the frame rate by the PS5. It's still running the same PS4 code in a stable hardware based BC mode to ensure it does not falter or crash. The level of hardware throttling is very apparent in loading times. Here on my SSD powered Pro, it loads 1 second faster than my blisteringly fast PS5 NVMe drive, meaning you should really install this on an external drive as the space is wasted on the internal drive. That said, it is still much faster than the PS4 or Pro with a stock 5400 RPM drive, but these backward compatibility titles do not utilise any of the core benefits the PS5 offers. Steady and true always wins the race. So the benefits here are impressive, but are certainly not indicative of what we can expect from the PS5 to come. We only need to look ahead for the next Ratchet & Clank for a glimpse of what is to come. Limited use it may be, but this free enhancement to The Last of Us does offer me and you another chance to dive back in and enjoy the exciting, dynamic and enjoyable combat and exploration that the dogs have made their own since those PS1 and PS2 games. The update is a great reason to check the game out again if you've not played it before, and it has some excellent set pieces, level design and some of the best directional and Foley mix sounds in games, as I've just discussed. In fact, the only other thing I could ask for would be for the dogs to release an equivalent patch for the Uncharted 4 or Lost Legacy, and let loose Drake's adventure once again at those silky smooth frame rates we saw in the multiplayer. Although the age of that game and the impending Tom Holland-led Uncharted movie just around the corner, I do see a bright future ahead for the Drake tale, so we may yet see something new on the horizon. A sick Parvis Magna. Now, if you like these fast-paced performance reviews or more in-depth deep dives into games, technology and performance, then remember, keep it IGN.com and hit that subscribe button to get posted on new videos once they go live on IGN Games. And I will see you on the other side of next week. Ah!